Stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Commissioner Greatham.
Here.
Commissioner Rushing.
Here.
Commissioner Riley.
Here.
Commissioner Heidemann.
Here.
Commissioner Tamian. Commissioner Bohm.
Here.
Commissioner McConnell.
Item 3, additions, deletions, changes to the agenda.
Mr. Chair, I would like to give an addition to the agenda, and that is to revise the BOC meeting schedule.
Second.
Discussion. We're going to move that to
11X.
11X. Okay. All in
X.
favor?
Aye.
Approval of, those opposed. Approval of the agenda.
I would move the approval of the agenda as revised.
All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed. Item 5, minutes of previous meeting.
This time I'd like to move that the minutes of 9/17/15 commission meeting and the 10/01/15 standing committee meetings be approved and filed.
I support that.
Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed. Item 6, proclamation, St. Clair County 2000 Veteran of the Year.
Mr. Chairman, I'd move to approve the proclamation recognizing Thomas Holes as St. Clair County Veteran of the Year 2015.
Support.
Discussion on it. I'm actually going to be attending that coming up here, so I'll make sure that he gets that. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed. Item 7, consent agenda, items A through K.
Mr. Chairman, I would move at this time to approve items 7A through 7K on the consent agenda.
Second.
Discussion on any of the items here? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed. Moving on, item 8, reports of standing and special committees. Howard?
Other than Park and Rec, as you know, we've been approved for Michigan Natural Resources Trust Fund grant, but we still haven't been able to get an agreement on the purchase of property down in the southern part of the county. So stay tuned.
Okay.
Hopefully we'll get something.
Tom?
Nothing.
David?
Yeah, just one. We had the landfill meeting with Riley Township, and that was on October 6th. And at that meeting, part of their agenda, they did approve to have their master plan. It's going to be done by the St. Clair County. That's it.
Hey. Great, Tom.
I'll take a pass tonight, Mr. Chairman.
Tell us how you hurt yourself. You got a story there? Your wife beat you up?
Got 4 or 5 stories, which one you want?
How about the short one?
All right. I'm going to pass. Item 9, any citizens wishing to address the board at this time? Citizens. Moving on. Item 10, unfinished business. No unfinished business. Item 11, approval of county disbursements.
Yeah, at this time, I'd like to move to approve the county disbursements for September 2015 in the amount of $38,793,548.97.
Support.
Discussion. Roll call.
Commissioner Heidemann.
Yes.
Commissioner Rushing.
Yes.
Commissioner Greatham.
Yes.
Commissioner Riley.
Yes.
Commissioner Bohm.
Yes. Item B, the SMG 6-month report. We got Kim and
Gina.
Thank you for allowing SMG to present our 6-month update for the Blue Water Convention Center. I wanted to start out by kind of just reviewing what our mission is, what SMG's mission is for the Convention Center. And I wanted to just read this briefly. SMG's focus at the Blue Water Convention Center is to enhance the economy of St. Clair County by attracting and producing events with significant economic potential and to facilitate local events promoting civic and community pride within a sound financial context. The SMG team realizes that one of the best ways to achieve our mission is by providing superior customer service, an excellent customer experience, and outstanding hospitality. Our mission is to ensure our customers' expectations are exceeded by delivering memorable events one way to quantify this measure is by a customer satisfaction survey. The Convention Center sends each customer a survey at the completion of their events. There is roughly 7 questions on the survey, and the areas that we focus on are sales, event planning, building operation, and food and beverage. One of the most valuable things that we can learn from a survey is whether or not our customers will refer us to associates, colleagues, family members, and it's called a Net Promoter Score. It is utilized by major companies as a measure to measure customer loyalty, engagement, and future business growth. So the areas that we discussed, sales and events planning, some of the questions in the survey are, were the sales and event team friendly, courteous? Were they professional? Were they knowledgeable? Did they be responsive with follow-through? Timely information, were they readily available? So this is what they were scored on. And moving over to operations facility, we were evaluated on our cleanliness, on our accuracy of room set. So if they chose a banquet style or a classroom style, if it was set to their recommendation. Responsiveness of follow-through. Was the room comfortable? Was the temperature comfortable? Were the carpets clean? Were the bathrooms clean? And then the last category is food and beverage. Although we don't control the product, we do control the selling. At this time, SMG, our sales staff, is selling Freighter's food and beverage. And so that survey, the questions for under food and beverage are, they were rated quality of food, they rate the quality of the service of the staff, the appearance of the food, quality and appearance of their servers, and then the value for the price. So the results of our survey, the Net Promoter Score, the first column is at 90%. So that's the one that we ask, would you recommend us to a colleague, to a friend, to a family? And then the others, we've got 91% for our event planning process. We rated a 90% for our sales planning process, building operations at 96%, and the food and beverage was rated a 79, total of 79%. And just to mention, at present, our return rate on the surveys that we receive are at 38%.
Kim, how does that compare? I mean, is 38% a good return?
It is.
When you talk about customer survey result, Kim, what's industry norm? Is there industry standards for this? You guys use this mechanism you guys manage 400 facilities?
All of the facilities that I'm aware of, especially the convention centers. And we use an online survey service. So the survey is created, it is sent out by link to our customers, and it's returned to me personally, actually. So it doesn't go back to the person that sent the survey. So, and at the end of each, we want them to respond. So at the end of each meeting, we send it with an email asking, we want to know what you thought, help us improve. And so we definitely encourage a return.
I would think, in the 90 percentile, that would be pretty exceptional. I mean,
pretty
we're talking
exceptional.
9 out of 10
Very proud.
customers and all that
Yep,
stuff.
absolutely. Meet the staff that are responsible for the surveys. We've got Mike DeLange, who is our building operations manager. He's actually from McMorran. We moved him over from McMorran, and he's doing a great job. We have Ashley Birchmeyer, who is our event manager, and Gina Quaid, our sales and marketing manager. And we have Mary, who is a part-time custodian. One thing to note, Mary is also shared by McMorran. She's 50% McMorran staff, 50% Convention Center staff. And also to note, Gina Quaid is also 50% shared by the Convention Center and 50% shared by McMorran. Sales update. From the period April 2015, when we opened our doors, until September, so just shy of 6 months, we had 23 SMG contracted events. The DoubleTree contracted 13 events. What that means is that the DoubleTree books our ballroom, and as you know, the ballroom belongs to the county, to the Convention Center. We do receive revenue from those bookings. Total number of attendees that have come through our door with an event have been 3,921. So the Blue Water Convention Center room rental, I don't know if you've heard, we do charge room rental for our events, and from the revenue we have received in those April through September, we've received $18,775 just from room rental. Total visits and tours that we've done for prospective conventions, conferences has been 30 people, 30 associations. And just a breakdown of what these numbers are, we've had 1 convention, 26 meetings, 6 banquets, and 3 other. And an other would be a wedding ceremony, for example. No food, no sleeping rooms. And then also we had an event last month called Boys and Their Toys. That also was an other. It didn't quite fit into a banquet, didn't fit into a consumer show, so that's how we label that. Future business on the books. Your first column are, of course, your year, and the next column is contracts signed. This is confirmed contracts on the books right now for the Convention Center. So as you can see, from October to December this year, we have 17,350 confirmed, revenue confirmed for that period so far. We also have contracts that are pending, and what that means is that a contract has been sent to the client. We're just waiting for them to sign it and return it. We've already negotiated pricing. We've done, menu selection, so we're waiting for that to be returned. But again, that's also just so far. And then in the proposal stage is a customer or organization that has requested information from us: pricing, menu selections, room sizes, room setup. So we have $280 that is still in the proposal stage. Going back to the left, 2016, we have $228,824 that is confirmed, contracted business on the books for the Convention Center. Moving to contracts pending, we have $39,706 that are contracts have been sent out. We're waiting for them to be returned so far. And in the proposal stage, we have $674,926 of estimated revenue in the proposal stage for 2016. Going down to 2017, in the contract pending, we've got $57,185 that we're waiting for those returned. Proposal stage, we have $656,597 in the proposal stage. And then following up 2018, we have $101,500 that is in the proposal stage. And just to kind of give you an example, for 2018, the last one that we just spoke of, that's just one convention. So we've got one convention that's in the proposal stage. Moving up to 2017 in the proposal stage, the $656,000. That equates to 6 conventions and 2 banquets that are right now in a proposal stage.
Just one question over in the proposal stage. You just used 2016 from the history of SMG. The $674,000, on that $675,000. What is the percentage that you think you'll get out of those proposed contracts? If you have it, great.
I don't, but, you know, I know that there is a formula. I could definitely get that back to you. Yeah.
I sit on the Convention and Visitors Bureau too, and we're very close to establishing an attraction fund there, which the CVB is going to fund that. A lot of these different events, and a lot of convention centers have attraction funds. We didn't have one of those currently put in place, but I will tell you what I have found very interesting or very informational is that they track all the conventions and they track why they don't get conventions too. Sometimes it's you know, conflicts as far as times of the year. Sometimes it's people want free room rentals. Sometimes it's for different reasons. But what it's really has done is really shed light on the need for that attraction fund. And the CVB, which, you know, they're a partner on this, they have, you know, monies essentially to set up this fund. We don't have a dollar figure established yet, some mechanisms, but I'm 95% sure that they're going to put this in place, which will help your
Absolutely.
efforts, you know,
Absolutely.
a bunch to attract additional.
I'm just curious, because being SMG,
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I know, and SMG has attraction funds at other facilities, those types of things, but
Absolutely,
that
that
attraction
we do.
fund will make a significant difference in your ability to book.
Absolutely.
Your
Yeah.
contracts pending, Kim, will those all come in? You
You-
say you're waiting for them to sign?
Yes, we're
the
waiting,
contract.
we've negotiated pricing, we've discussed, you know, the food options, so they're being sent out, we follow up. So will every single one come back? It, probably not. But those are the higher percentage of coming back since we've gotten to the contract stage. So as a matter of fact, if you go up to 2016 and you look at in the proposed column, that makeup is 16 banquets, 8 conventions, and 1 meeting. And of that total, one of them has already, this week, moved over to the contract stage. So that's great. So these numbers are just, you know, as of today. They are always changing.
Bill, just to touch on when contracts are pending and move into contract sign, just from the ones that we've already done, the rate is really high. I would probably say 8 or 9 to 10, we'll receive back 8 or 9 contracts to 10 sent out. So the percentage is really high once because most of them have already toured, they've already, they have, you know, all the pricing. They're the ones who requested the contract, so the return rate is really high on the contract.
so a conservative figure would be 80% of the 670.
Yes.
Sure.
Just
Yes.
conservative?
Yep.
Ballpark.
Thank you.
Be quite honest, I'm shocked, I don't want to say I'm shocked, but I'm pleasantly surprised you guys track it to this nth degree of a level. I didn't know that, you know, you tracked it this deep, so.
So where do these leads come from? You can see on my pie chart that the 58% of the leads that we have generated through all of the previous slides that you've seen have come from the convention center. They've come from SMG's efforts, marketing efforts. They've come from website. They've come from online advertising. They've come from print ads. And quite frankly, the telephone. We've had a lot of calls coming in as well. So it's been very, very promising. Moving over to, we've recognized 5% of the leads have come from St. Clair County. So thank you very much. We had Mr. Riley, who referred business, who actually we've contracted one and referred another. Mr. Graytop has referred business to us as well as the administration office as well. So we appreciate that. 21%.
I could just want to put a plug in for Doubletree because their relationship throughout the nation helps assist getting that also. So, I mean, that's a big plus for having Doubletree there rather than just ABC.
Yes, yes. 21% is from the Doubletree. Those are leads that come into the Doubletree that perhaps they don't have the space available, the date available, or that they're too big. These leads are directly handed over to us. So in that scheme, that is a really good relationship that we definitely need to cultivate to keep that communication between the two of us. That is how it's supposed to work with a hotel. A lot of, facilities around the U.S. don't have that type of relationship. So it's very important that we stay very well connected. And then moving into the CVB, there is 16% have come from proposals. So the sales manager with the CVB will present a request for proposal, an RFP. It is sent to Gina, and then Gina fills out all of the information and then returns it to the CVB. That's how it's currently working out. Traditionally, though, the role of a CVB is traditionally they provide the lead to the convention center, and the convention center will then contact the client and start to develop a relationship. They will find out what their needs are, and maybe suggest cost-saving measures or interesting ways to do certain events. So then typically from that point, then the convention center will then send back the lead to the convention, but always keeping the CVB in the loop. And then that frees the CVB up to continue pursuing other sales opportunities. But that's how it traditionally works around the US, but currently this is how we're doing it. Our marketing update. So as you can see, we've started doing some trade shows with this Blue Water Convention Center as well as corporate SMG. There are a couple that aren't even on the list that we are attending this month actually. So these are things, the Business Expo, Bridal Expo, we get business leads, or we get sales leads from these trade shows. We participated in the Michigan Society Association of Executives. We are members of the Meeting Planners International, and also our event manager is actually a member in going through the training process to become a certified meeting professional. So that's a designation behind a shingle behind her name that gives her that credibility when she's talking with potential customers. And then in December, we plan to go to the International Association of Exhibitions and Events. So basically to make sure that we are putting our building out there for opportunities for promoters to book our facility for trade shows. Advertising print ad, we are in all of the local publications. We are regional, we are statewide. We've designed the billboard that is on I-75, I believe. And we're producing a tri-ad with the hotel, freighters, and the convention center to do a marketing approach that way as well. Online social media. Facebook ads are really important to us. They're at very low cost, but they reach a lot of people. So currently, we've done a bridal ad, and we will do, probably every quarter, we will do something next, maybe banquets, social, events, ads on that avenue. All the websites you see here, we have print ads, or we have ads on these websites. We also are sponsorship. We do sponsorship levels on local events, as well as teaming with the hotel on sponsoring dual sponsorship levels for golf outings, the chamber events, things like that. Examples of SMG designed print and online advertisement. So this is just a few of the designs that we create in-house. So what this means is that we aren't spending money at an outside organization to create these ads. So every time, let's say for example, we have one for 2015 and we want to update it for a 2016 magazine, we would have to pay someone to go in and just change the date. So we actually produce all of these. Partnerships, collaborative sales, and marketing. Currently, the DoubleTree, our sales team and their sales team actually join forces and go out on what they call a sales blitz. And they basically go to all the corporate, they target corporate regional businesses and engage, develop relationships to book future events. This particular one is a holiday party. We also give them a goodie bag. So it's a way of being able to walk into a business and not do a hard sell where they say, I don't want any. This way it allows us to give them cookies, a bag, and just to put a name with the face and to introduce ourselves. And if there's an opportunity to do a holiday party, we're here. And we plan to do other joint ventures with the DoubleTree as well. We do joint advertising, shared expenses. We have plans to do some future things in magazines that would just target the both of us. As well as we meet bi-monthly. SMG, the hotel, and the CVB meet bi-monthly to talk about marketing opportunities, talk about any trade shows coming up that one or three of us would want to partner in. And with Freighters, initiated a chef's table experience, which is kind of an experience where we can draw in the local CEOs and corporate level and not-for-profit CEOs and of course the board, and be able to share an experience with them one-on-one in a small, intimate environment where we can encourage business, and they also have a one-on-one opportunity with the chef. It's a really nice evening when we want to focus on particular CEOs. We also created a tri-ad and a dual ad with Freighters, and we'll be in the Michigan Meetings and Events magazine, the winter issue. CVB, we are working with them on being a partner. We are putting together a list of trade shows that we as SMG feel are important to our industry. And I've mentioned one of them, which is in December. I've put forth for their approval to see if they would like to have one of their representatives join us and split the cost as well. So I'll be putting together a list of all of the good shows that would really make a difference for us and see what their involvement might be. Again, bi-monthly meetings we have. The CVB salesperson provides proposals, requests, I mentioned that earlier, to our sales staff. And basically, the SMG initiated a site visit team approach. So that when an organization comes in, association comes in, and they want to just do a site visit, we get the whole team together. We get CVB, we get SMG, and we get the hotel, and we do it as a team approach so that they feel like even though there are multiple partners, they're not going to fall through the cracks. And it gives them a full scope of what we're about and how we handle our customers. Plus they get cookies, so they enjoy that. And these are just some event photos that we've had in the past. And just one other thing to note, I've been very conservative on, we're responsible for managing a budget. And in our first year, we don't have a whole lot of revenue coming in because it is our first year. So my job is to manage expense. That's the only real impact that I have absolute control over. So in the conservative approach that we've taken to our marketing, it's certainly not for lack of effort or lack of talent, because we have absolute talent. It's more about looking at where the dollars are spent right now at this time, and then focusing next year into revamping for example, revamping our website. Our website was designed by an in-house SMG employee that I didn't have to spend $20,000 to have it created. So as we move forward, we will revamp it. We will add, the bells and whistles, video, things like that. So that is our plan for the future. But so we're working hard, and we feel pretty good. I'm sorry, I wanted to add one more thing. I wanted to note that the Convention, Sports and Leisure, Bill Kruger, he did a feasibility draft, a report, and looking at what he proposed in the 4th year for what the convention center would do, we are in a real strong position to do better. So we feel really good about that, very positive. Any questions?
The only thing I would say is that certainly, I mean, for the first year doing this coming around, I think we're doing fantastic. I really do.
No, I think the facility, obviously I was very close to it and, you know, spent a lot of time and, you know, it was a big, you know, decision for this board to move forward and if you look at the product, you know, and you get through there, I think it's pretty cool. You know, I mean, you really, I think we hit the mark as far as the mid-market, just the flow, how the whole thing flows. Price point, you know, $9 million. You know, my mind, square footage, and you know, when I take people through there and I tell them we spent $9 million, they're kind of surprised that, to be quite honest, that we didn't spend a whole lot more because of the size of the facility and stuff. And you know, we obviously picked SMG. We went through the process between the county, the city, you know, McMorran Authority to bring in the professional management. I feel very good with the consultants that we've hired, the team that we've put in place. You know, go through a little bit of growing pains in the beginning, like anything, just figuring things out, but that's to be expected. But you know, the moving forward, and some of the people that I've had an opportunity to talk to, DT, the Government Affairs Director, is an associate friend of mine, and just, you know, those guys go everywhere. And when he first came up, took a look at the facility, he's like, this is big stuff. This is, you know, you guys got a great facility there. So hopefully you're sitting here in 3 or 4 years, and I haven't got whacked yet in the next election, and we have a great story to tell. Hey, David.
Just a short plug. I don't think you'd be hard pressed to find any negative comments in regards to where we forecasted it was going to be and where it's actually at. So I think it's been a big plus for the city board here in St. Clair County, and it looks like it's ended up being a very good decision that was made.
Okay, Kim, thank you.
Thank you, Kim. Gene, thank you.
Thanks. Item C, the administrator controller proposed 2000s.
You don't have to vote on it? Okay.
Budget. Carrie, Bill, Carrie, you guys.
Carrie, please.
While Carrie's walking up there, I'll make a motion to receive and file the administrator comptroller's proposed 2016 budget.
Support.
At your places tonight is administration's proposed 2016 general fund budget. The budgets for the special revenue funds will come before you in December. This year's budget followed the same process as we used last year. We did not do an across-the-board approach to make our budget reductions. Administration met individually with departments to go over their budgets, their individual budget needs, and were able to make the necessary reductions. The several biggest drivers driving our budget reductions were changes at the state level with convention facilities tax as well as personal property tax, and also the county's ability to house federal inmates. Our population has declined due to the feds opening their own facility and sending the inmates there. So those 3 items were caused about a $1.6 million shortfall that was made up through meetings with the individual departments and cuts to expenditures. All the cuts proposed to this year's budget are permanent and structural. There's no one-time fixes in there, so they'll carry forward for future years. If you look in your presentation in the purple tab, it gives you just some budget highlights. It breaks down the different things that are in the budget and not in the budget, and past that it gives a breakdown of all the different items and divisions that made reductions in order to balance the budget. The schedules at the beginning are the schedules that are required to comply with the Public Acts, the Budgeting Act, and as well as a budget calendar. Right now we're scheduled to have a public hearing at your full board meeting in November, and the budget adoption could happen that night or sometime after that prior to the end of the year. Any specific questions?
Since I guess this is the first time that any of us have obviously seen this evening, I'd like the commissioners to take this document, review it. If you have any questions for Carrie.
I do.
How many federal prisoners are you, or how many prisoners did you figure?
About 55.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, and you know, if they're not tonight, Dave, if you want to just send them over an email on some questions, you know. There again, I commend you and Bill for putting this together, as I often reflect. 11 years ago, when the room was full, everybody wanted to kill each other. Howard, you remember those days? Much better place today than.
We didn't have the kind of protection we have now either.
Yeah, so no, very well done, and I can tell you I did not get one phone call from anybody that, you know, yell at me. Good stuff, except Jay. Any other commissioners? Bill, you want to say anything?
No? Okay.
Looks good.
Sure, just a couple of quick comments. A lot of great information in here, and again, as Carrie pointed out, the information that you see up front is what's required to provide you with. There is a lot more detailed information, even though it's a small packet. She has crammed a lot of information in here that gives you a good general overview of what's gone on with the budget in 2016, what's different from 2015, where the cuts occurred and the changes. And I think it's important to remember that these are structural changes, not one-time fixes. These are things that will help the organization as we move along indefinitely. Also, if you take a look near the back, the second page from the back, you'll see that Carrie has included a general fund history that goes from 2008 out to 2018. So she's provided you with a projection that goes out a number of years to give you an idea of where we anticipate that the general fund will be several years down the road, along with where did we come from back in 2008 when we started going, when things started going bad. So again, take your time, look this information over. There's some great stuff here. Personally, I want to thank Carrie. She really carried the ball on this. She met with every department head to talk about what would change, what wouldn't change. She really spent a lot of time, especially with the courts this year. Every agency within the court, including the clerk's office, to review what they're up to, changes that they're making. That helped us significantly. As Commissioner Bohm has pointed out, no calls, no complaints. I personally didn't receive any calls or complaints, not even from the clerk. You know, I just think she did a fantastic job this year. A big challenge again, you know, a last-minute drop in the federal prisoner count, which we thought we would have a pretty easy year, and unfortunately hasn't been the case, but she did a fantastic job. So thank you very much, Carrie.
All the department heads and elected officials were easy to work with. Everybody came forward with some really good ideas, and you know, were receptive to changes. So I'd like to thank all them as well.
Okay.
I just would like to comment as I'm looking at the history of our budgets, and as Jeff has pointed out, we went through some pretty rough times starting in 2008. And one of the things that constituents need to understand that it may be 2020, 2022 before we get back to getting the kind of revenue that we got in 2008. So it's going to be a long time getting back. And the reason for that is, even though your state equalized value of your house, the value of your house may be going up considerably, that isn't reflected in the taxable value. The taxable value of your home can only go up 5% or cost of living, whichever is least. And cost of living's been running around 2%. So it's going to be a while before we're going to have to run tight budgets for many years to come. And so I commend you for looking out to 2018, and it isn't growing very fast. So
On the trial balance, your expenditures have to equal your revenues. I just got one line item to ask you about.
Okay.
Okay. We had a motion to receive the proposed budget. All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed. Item D, the Blue Cross Blue Shield renewal.
Chairman, I move to approve the Blue Cross Blue Shield Schedule A renewal as presented.
Second, Heidemann.
Discussion? Roll call?
Commissioner Greatham.
Yes.
Commissioner Heidemann.
Yes.
Commissioner Riley.
Yes.
Commissioner Rushing.
Yes.
Chairman Bone.
Yes. Item E, Resolution 15-27, ratifying the collective bargaining agreement between the bailiffs and security officers.
Mr. Chair, I would move to adopt Resolution 15-27, ratifying the collective bargaining agreement with the court bailiffs and the security officers.
Support.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Item F, Resolution 15-28, ratifying the collective bargaining agreement with
Chairman, I would move at this time to adopt Resolution 15-28, ratifying the collective bargaining agreement with Public Service Employees Local 1089 AFSCME.
Support.
discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Item G, the Resolution 15-29 with the Family Division of Probate Court Employees.
Mr. Chairman, I'd move to adopt Resolution 15-29, ratifying collective bargaining agreement with Probate Court Employees Association.
Second.
Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Item H, the 2015 Port Security Grant Program with Emergency Management.
This time, I'd like to move to approve the fiscal year 2015 Port Security Grant Program Agreement in the amount of $20,603 for the emergency management.
Support.
Discussion.
No local match on it, guys.
No, if you look at here, they talk about the purchase of the 800 megahertz radios. I just wanted to let you know, we did attend this CDA meeting the other day to talk about that radio replacements, as many of you are aware, coming down the pipeline here. And we pretty much told the guys, you know, kind of start looking for money, put them on notice. I think 17 is when the first round of credits and those types of things, but and they know, so.
They have about a year and a half to go.
First phase, there's a, you know, it's going to be a phased-in deal. They still make, you know, replacement parts for the radios for a 5-year period. I mean, if you look at total time to phase this thing, it's realistically probably a 5 to 7 year. But what we went and when we talked at the CDA was that the individual agencies are going to have to, you know, replace their radios and fund their radios. So they know that. I don't think there was any big surprise by any stretch. So
They've already started. A lot of those other agencies are already into new radios or buying them.
yeah.
They know it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? 2015, the Port Security Grant for the Marine Division.
Mr. Chairman, I move to approve for year 2015 Port Security Grant Program Agreement in the amount of $250,933 for the Marine and Dive Team Division of the Sheriff Department.
Support.
Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Item J, the 2016 Mental Health Court Grant Contract.
Mr. Chair, I would move the approval of the fiscal year 2016 Michigan Mental Health Court Grant Agreement in the amount of $211,800.
Support.
Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? The item K, the Intervention Center Mental Health Coordination Agreement with CMH.
Mr. Chairman, at this time, I would move to approve the interagency agreement with Community Mental Health for inmate mental health services for a term of 10/1/15 through 9/30/16 in the amount of $136,136.53.
Support.
Discussion. Roll call.
Commissioner Rushing.
Yes.
Commissioner Heidemann.
Yes.
Commissioner Greatham.
Yes.
Commissioner Riley.
Yes.
Chairman Bone.
Yes. Item L, the Radio Council Maintenance Agreement renewal with Motorola.
This time, I'd like to move to approve the maintenance agreement with Motorola for radio consoles in the amount of $25,767.96 for a term of September 1st, 2015 through August 31st, 2016.
Support?
Discussion. Roll call.
Commissioner Greatham.
Yes.
Commissioner Rushing.
Yes.
Commissioner Riley.
Yes.
Commissioner Heidemann.
Yes.
Chairman Bone.
Yes. Item M, the Region 10 prepaid inpatient health plan agreement for the inmate intervention services.
Mr. Chairman, at this time I would move to approve the agreement with Region 10 prepaid inpatient health plan for RSAT services in the amount of $60,000 for a term of 10/1/15 through 9/30/16.
Support.
Discussion on this at all? There's no county match on this that I'm seeing. We'll do a roll call anyway, just to cover ourselves.
Commissioner Rushing.
Yes.
Commissioner Riley.
Yes.
Commissioner Greatham.
Yes.
Commissioner Heidemann.
Yes.
Chairman Bone.
Yes. Item number N, Resolution 15-21 for the District Court Capital Improvement Fund.
Mr. Chairman, I'd move to adopt Resolution 15-21 authorizing a capital improvement fund for the 72nd District Court.
Support.
Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed. Item O, the Agricultural Preservation Board appointment.
Mr. Chair, I move to appoint Megan Natlin to the Agricultural Preservation Board representing natural resources and conservationists for the remainder of a 3-year term expiring 12/31/2015.
Support?
Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed. Item P, the Brownfield Redevelopment Authority reappointments.
This time I'd like to move to reappoint John Cooper, District 2, Daniel Lockwood, District 5, and John Osborne, District 1, to the Brownfield Redevelopment Authority, each for a 3-year term expiring 10/31/2018.
Support?
Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed. Item Q, the Columbus White Barn Electrical Service.
Mr. Chairman, I'd move to award the contract to provide electrical service, lighting, power circuits to the Columbus White Barn to B&T Electric in the amount of $19,592.
Support.
Discussion.
Just, we talked about that at Park and Rec Wednesday night, and just so you know, the White Barn was basically maintained and fixed up by the Columbus Township when they had it as a lease for a few years. They gave it back to us, and the facility that we were using for our equipment storage and maintenance is in really dire straits. So essentially what we're going to be doing is using the White Barn for equipment and maintenance at the park, and that other facility that was in bad shape, we're just going to take it down.
Okay. Roll call.
Commissioner Heidemann.
Yes.
Commissioner Rushing.
Yes.
Commissioner Riley.
Yes.
Commissioner Greatham.
Yes. Chairman
Bone.
Yes. Item R, the landfill truck scale recommendation.
I would move to adopt Resolution 15. Oh, wait. I'm sorry. I got ahead of myself here. Move to award the contract for the truck scale replacement to Smith's at Smiths Creek Landfill to Fairbanks Scales Incorporated in the amount of $242,597.73.
Support. Discussion. Roll call.
Commissioner Rushing.
Yes.
Commissioner Greatham.
Yes.
Commissioner Heidemann.
Yes.
Commissioner Riley.
Yes.
Chairman Bone.
Yes. Item S, the park picnic tables and grills purchase.
Mr. Chairman, at this time I would move to award the purchase of tables and grills for Goodles County Park to Pilot Rock in the amount of $10,139.
Support.
discussion? Roll call.
Commissioner Greatham.
Yes.
Commissioner Rushing.
Yes.
Commissioner Riley.
Yes.
Commissioner Heidemann.
Yes.
Chairman Bone.
Yes. Board of Canvasser appointments.
This time, I'd like to move to cast ballots for the Board of Canvassers appointments based on nomination of the respective parties.
Second?
Jay, you want to talk about the Board of Canvassers and what role it?
Canvassers are a four-year term. When the terms, and they're staggered, there's 4 members, 2 from each major political party, Republican, Democrat. The chairman of each party would support the names. I think you have a selection of 1 from Democrat Party and 3 selection from the Republican Party. So,
Yep. So if you don't mind, do you have names in front of you or no?
No.
What do we have to do?
We'll write the names down. Why don't you go through the names and we'll write them down on it.
Democrat. The Democrat Party is Yvonne Williams. There's only 1 nominated. Let me grab my notes.
So 2 from each, right?
No, you're selecting 1. They're staggered terms.
Okay.
So you're selecting 1 Democrat, 1 Republican.
Okay.
Republicans, the 3 choices are Fred Wibbert, W-I-B-E-R-T, Keith Coffey, and Keith Steiber, S-T-I-E-B-E-R.
What was that again, please?
S-T-I-E-B-E-R. So you're going to select 1 from that group of 3.
Is anybody currently at the standing Board of Canvassers with the Republican?
Currently there is, but she's no longer.
Good. What's the second one you on the Republican?
Keith Coffey.
Coffee?
Yep.
C?
C-O-F-F-E-Y.
Leslie.
You want 1?
1. Yvonne Williams is obviously the Democrats' nomination, and then the 1 of the 3.
You need only 1 opposed.
No, any.
Those would be that's Democrat.
Yeah, you gotta have 1 of those.
Thank you. All right, I have the 5 ballots on the Democrat. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for Williams. On the Republican, I have 1 for Stieber, 2 for Stieber, 3 for Stieber, 4 for Stieber, 5 for Stieber. So the 2 selected are Yvonne Williams and Keith Stieber. I'll make notice to them that they are the newly appointed and they will be effective in the November election on the Board of Canvassers.
Okay, moving on, item U, the Marysville Tire and Auto Contract Amendment.
Mr. Chairman, I'd to revise the not-to-exceed amount of the fleet maintenance agreement with Marysville Tire and Auto to $350,000.
Okay, do I have a second? Anyone want to second it?
I'll second it.
Okay, Howard.
I have a question. Will we be getting a report on how well this is working out with the new arrangement for servicing our vehicles versus having just one service provider in the past? Will we get a report on that at some point? I'm just, if we're saving money, great. If not,
Yeah, and I think a lot of it was a convenience piece of it too, Howard. I mean, the situation we ran in the last time, you'd have to drop a car off, have to get somebody to drive you over there. I mean, it was, these guys are on the road, they can pull in, they can get their things done, they can get back. I mean, hence the savings before, but the inconvenience and time and some of the other.
Okay.
It was one of those items that, trying to work through and improve. Any questions on the contract amendment at all? All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed. Item V, the seasonal snow and salting services.
Mr. Chairman, I would move at this time to approve a snow removal and salting services agreement with Kevin's Lawn Care in the amount of $148,323 for a term of 2015 through 2018.
Second.
Discussion. Roll call.
Commissioner Rushing.
Yes.
Commissioner Riley.
Yes.
Commissioner Greatham.
Yes.
Commissioner Heidemann.
Yes.
Chairman Bone.
Yes. Item, W, Resolution 15-28 for the...
Mr.
portioning
Chair,
tax.
I would move to adopt Resolution 15-26, apportioning the taxes for 2000 and, don't we want to do it for 16? Mine says 15. We want to do it for 16.
Correct, Howard?
I'm going to change that.
That's fine.
Little typo.
Second.
Second.
Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed.
That was the most important item we did tonight.
It was.
All he wants is money. The revisions to the BOC meeting schedule. I have a motion.
I'll make a motion to accept the revised BOC meeting schedule.
Any idea what it is?
I don't see it.
No, actually, this is before you to discuss where, do you want to make any changes to the schedule for November and for December? In December, if you recall, because of the holiday, we're holding the committee meetings on the first Thursday and the full board meeting on the second Thursday. In November, we are holding the committee meetings on the 5th, the first Thursday. The full board meeting is on the 3rd, which is on the 19th.
Thanksgiving?
Thanksgiving is on the 26th, the following Thursday. So anyways, the 19th is when it's normally scheduled for. I know some of you may be gone for the deer hunting season. We just want to make sure that if you're going to change that schedule, or you think there might be a conflict or a shortage of commission members, that we address that at this time.
I think that's
That's not
okay
a
for
case.
now.
Either one works for me, whatever you guys want.
I will definitely be gone on the 19th.
We'll see when the rest of the guys get back. It's pretty thin that time of year for our agenda, so we'll just keep it as is, and then if we have to tweak it,
Okay.
so be it.
I need to retract my motion. I will retract my motion.
No,
Fails
it's
for support.
same schedule. We didn't,
Just like Riley's.
Here you go.
Second.
yeah, okay. All right. Moving on, item 12, Administrator's Report.
The EDA has completed their move to the offices across the street, so if you get a chance, make sure you swing by and take a look at it. It's up on the 4th floor. Earlier this week, they had their board meeting, and the Community Foundation came in, took the group through an exercise of assisting the foundation in setting some goals for 2016. The EDA also, the remainder of this year, will be looking at their goals for 2016 and proposing some changes to the EDA's goals and priorities for next year. Also, the EDA is partnering with a number of other agencies. Many of you are probably aware of the fact that there is a real shortage of skilled tradesmen within the state of Michigan, not just in St. Clair County, but the state of Michigan as well. And the EDA, along with Michigan Works and St. Clair County Community College, is putting together a program called Manufacturing 101. What it will do is set up an opportunity for a 10-day training program for up to 30 workers They will learn some basic skills and soft skills related to the workplace, but they'll also learn a little bit about OSHA, and by the time they leave, they'll have some certification levels with OSHA for health and safety. They'll also spend some time learning about blueprint reading and metallurgy, so they'll learn a little bit about how metals work and how to deal with them. They'll also learn some basic computer skills. The program's really designed to try and create a pipeline of potential workers for tooling within St. Clair County. So it'll be a program open to 30 people. They are working with, again, the community college, Michigan Works, and local manufacturers to try and identify the people. I think it's a great program. It certainly takes care of a need that many of our companies within St. Clair County have identified. Earlier this week, I met with the superintendent of the K-PAC schools, myself, Randy Fernandez, the city manager for Marysville, and Dan Casey, just to welcome him to the community, find out a little bit about the issues in the west part of the county, some of the challenges he's facing. He's moving up from the Warren Consolidated School System, and certainly appreciated spending the time with us to learn a little bit about St. Clair County. Airport Appreciation Day was held after your full board meeting last month. Numbers were up a little bit over 2015. And beautiful weather and great attendance, and hopefully some of you were able to go out and learn a little bit more about the airport and certainly see all the improvements that have been made. Last week, SEMCOG was here to spend some time with community leaders to help develop a regional economic development plan for all of Southeast Michigan. A number of you were there. A lot of information, great information was shared about the partnerships and the collaboration that's going on within the community to try and change our economy and improve everyone's well-being. Commissioner Bohm, you were there. If there's anything you want to share with
No,
the rest
it's
of the
really,
commissioners.
I think reaffirms a lot of the things that we're doing with our Blue Meat Screen. Half the people that were in attendance in that meeting are all part of our Blue Meat Screen, the regional planning, and you know, a lot of these other areas don't have what we have here as far as those sit down and go through that stuff. And it was good, and I think it just really reaffirmed to SEMCOG, you know, when they hear all the different efforts that we're doing on all the, you know, it's easy to say collaboration, but trying to get these communities together and sit in the same room gets real dicey and real tough in some other counties. So.
I think as an attendee that the Blue Meets Green, each time they look and set the priorities, you know, maybe 8 or 9 or 10 priorities that the community should focus on. And then to be able to get the collaboration from all the different levels of government to see if those priorities can be met. And by working together with a common plan, you know, it's fantastic. The old adage, if you don't have a plan, you plan to fail. And I think there's a plan. That's the secret.
Probably one of the most interesting pieces, and I deal with Randy Myers a lot, and I know a couple of us on this board do, and they talked about where their place was years ago, the Community Foundation, and Randy said, you know, 6 or 7 years ago, I'll just pick on the city of Port Huron, or somebody would say, we're going to work on a project in downtown Port Huron, okay? They never reached out to the Community Foundation for assistance, you know, to help put these things together, and things didn't happen, so on and so forth. Communities Foundation has $43 million that it sits on, okay? And you know, a lot of their monies are invested outside of the community, and they want to start bringing some of their money back in. And they are a huge player in a lot of economic development focus, which is a big focus for them. Point being is they were never invited to the party before. They were never a piece of the discussion, you know. I mean, that's kind of you know, how things, whatever, you know, so be it past history. But today, when we're sitting down and a lot of the focus that we have is on the economic development initiatives, it's community foundation, it's counties, it's cities, it's all of the above sitting at the table, figuring things out. And it's really been just a fundamental shift in how we do things. And I really, that blue meets green, it's one of the things that I talk about and I preach a lot. And I think if you talk to anybody that's on that board, just the communication between all the things is fantastic. So.
Yeah, I just want to emphasize one point, that some feedback that we received from SEMCOG was just the level of cooperation and the fact that this county, this community really has its act together when it comes to community and economic development. They made it clear that the kind of cooperation and a uniform set of priorities that we see, or they saw in St. Clair County, you certainly would not find in the rest of Southeast Michigan with the communities. That level of cooperation just does not exist.
Just want to appreciate Carl Tommion's effort serving for us around the SEMCOG board. He's an officer on it, and he does an excellent job for St. Clair County.
The Blue Water Convention Center, just real quickly, you'll see that there has been some landscaping occurring up there. There will be more going on over the next couple of weeks. I would like to remind you that in your 6-month report that was provided to you today, there's a great table here that gives you a breakdown of everything that has been planned for 15, 16, 17, and even 18 by category, and then they've got detailed estimates of what the guest counts will be, the number of hotel nights, the estimated hotel revenue, food and beverage estimates, room rental, and total revenue that's estimated for all of these events throughout those years. So some great detailed information here. If you have any questions about them, please feel free to get in touch with Kim or Gina. I keep reminding people the place has only been open for 6 months now. As you all have seen, it has been a wildly successful endeavor on the part of the board. So, Baker College is having a ribbon cutting for their facility as well as their dormitories next week. If you are interested in attending, please give us a call. Board Chairperson Bohm will be speaking on behalf of the board at that event.
What day is that?
That is, I just took it off my, hold on. I believe it is,
Very good looking.
it is on the 21st, Wednesday at 3 p.m. Their dorms are filled right up. They just opened in August, and with their first class, they filled up every single room in their dormitory this year already. So it's a very, very successful
They have
program.
133 kids enrolled in that program. I just was through there maybe 10 days to go 2 weeks ago on a tour and stuff. So it's just been very successful for them.
So they've been a great partner. They've done helped with a lot of events that have been held out at the convention center. They do a fantastic job with hospitality and serving, and everything I've ever had that they've prepared has just been unbelievable. Great, great food. So certainly we want to show our support for their program. Tonight on the agenda, you approved the contract for Blue Cross Blue Shield. That is a portion of our health care program available to employees. The other document or contract that you will see next month will be for the dental coverage. We did split out. When we went out for bids for health care, we got separate bids for dental. We were able to realize the savings in our dental coverage by splitting that out of our Blue Cross Blue Shield contract. We will be going back to Delta Dental, which is a company we've had in the past, coverage we've had in the past in the organization. That realized a nice savings that Carrie was certainly happy to see as well. So that will be on the agenda for next month. The contract just wasn't ready to be presented to the board and signed this evening. One last item, there are some great programs coming up over the next couple of days and the next week at the library. If you get a chance to take a look at their website, get an idea of some of the programs going on, not only at the main branch, but also at some of the branches throughout the county. Some really interesting programs, getting everybody ready for Halloween and the spooky time of the year. So get a chance to take a look at that. One of the other things that was related to the library, at the SEMCOG event, the library spent some time sharing with SEMCOG as well as the rest of the community some of the programs and the offerings that they have that help new businesses getting started, helping businesses get information and research that they need to do to put together their business plans when they're seeking funding and financing. So there's a lot of programs they currently offer, many more that they will be offering in the future. And that is it.
Okay, motion to receive and file administrator's report.
Moved.
Support.
All in favor? Aye. Those opposed? Miscellaneous business. I have one item. Randy Fernandez, the city manager in Marysville, wanted me to pass this on. Please let everyone know about our mayor's State of the City address Monday at 7 p.m. So they have the city of Marysville. They're going to be the State of the City mayor's address. Mayor Dame is going to be presenting that. So I told him I would let everyone know. That's it for me. Any other miscellaneous business?
Sure, I got mine.
Riley?
I think everybody's aware, but I wrote a letter on October 12th to our chair and also Jay, our county clerk.
What's in the letter, Tom?
Well, I'm about to tell you. It's this inform you as of Friday, October 16th, 2015, they'll no longer be able to hold the office of County Commissioner for District 4. I will be leaving my present address to live in another district, therefore I render my resignation. And I seriously mean this. It's been a pleasure to work with the dedicated team of county commissioners. I've worked before with another board, 2002 and 4. And Howard.
Careful, I was on that board.
Yeah, I know. I remember you, Howard, yeah. But I'm serious, this group we're working with, we got a great board. And I hate to do this and I hate to step down, but it's the right thing to do because I am going to be about 1.5 miles into Jeff's area. And I certainly, I don't want to get caught up in a situation that's not proper, and I will not do something like that. Therefore, the right thing to do is to step down, and that's exactly what I'm doing. My wife and I are moving we're downsizing, I'll call it, and that's what brought this on. We've talked about it for a few years, and some issues came, and we put the home up for sale, sold it a lot sooner than I thought it would. So that's going to be the status. That'll be done effective tomorrow night. I want you to understand, I really enjoyed working with the board, and I'm going to miss this part of it. There's a lot of things going on in the county. I'd like to be part of it, and it's just been the last 1.5 years is going on, well, actually 2.5. It's been great.
Tom, did you like Dave or me better?
I didn't really care for either one of you.
I just want to comment on Commissioner Riley and I started serving together in 2000, and we were elected in 2002, and Tom served a term, and we obviously had some challenges with our first building project. And I think Mr. Riley and I learned a whole lot after that devastating experience. And it was a real honor to serve with Tom and Chair Bohm on the committee to oversight for the Blue Water Convention Center and on the change order committee. And we were able to bring that in on budget. And I think we were actually a little bit ahead of schedule in terms of time, bringing it in once we broke ground, once the groundbreaking started. So, and anyone that's been to the convention center, we got a lot of bang for our buck there.
Certainly did.
David?
I just got a couple of funny stories. First time I met Tom, I was the township supervisor for Riley, and I came here for road funding. And I'm addressing the board. I believe Howard was the sergeant of arms then also.
Beat you down.
And Tom, with his deep voice, he's like, whatever he said, I remember it, but it was a deep voice. I don't remember the words, but he really wanted to cut me off and get me out of the podium because I was looking for funding for the roads. We have a great partnership with the townships. And the next time is when he was no longer a commissioner, and he's representing a proposal for safety over at the courthouse. So he gets up there, and Howard's the sergeant of arms. Because he's a previous commissioner, I guess he got some leeway, because he's going on for 15, 20 minutes. I'm on the agenda, and I'm following him, and I get up there, and of course, then I'm going over the road fundings again, where we can possibly help out the townships. And Howard says, Dave, your time's up. And I flexed my muscles or whatever, my opinion pretty good. And I said, you just gave him 15 to 20 minutes. I'm going to finish my proposal. But that's just a couple of memories with Tom.
It was, I like Tom better.
Well, it's, you know, Davis, he liked me better. I mean, you know,
Okay.
When Mr. Riley first got on the board, Mr. Riley was not a Jeff Bohm fan, not saying that he is today, but some of the things with the convention center, you know, we made that decision. Obviously, it was a little bit controversial in the community, and moving it forward, we had to, you know, we had to stay strong, and we moved it. And I'm sure some of the people, and I think Tom's said this to me, and I really appreciate it, that he working, you know, with me as board chairman and administration and all the other guys. I think he has a whole different perspective of how, you know, we do our business and how much busier essentially we are than we were, you know, back in 02 to 04.
He learned how it's supposed to be done with this.
And he just, you know, I think he's, I'm not going to say he's a Jeff Bohm fan now, but from where he was at before to where he is today, we've obviously gotten much closer through that, and just, you know, when we do things, we do them for the best interest of the county. We try to keep the politics out of the room as much as, you know, as much as we can, and that's how you make stuff happen. So I hate to see you go, no question about it.
well, I appreciate that, Jeff, and it's a true story. When I first come on, I didn't know how I was going to relate to everybody, but as a leader, I can't think of anybody better. If there's anything goes on, a meeting goes on, and you're not there because you don't have to be, etc., Jeff always calls me and fills me in and gets an opinion. Maybe he doesn't care about my opinion sometimes, but he always asks. And we got the best leader, and I gotta admit, it's been a real pleasure to work with Jeff, and we get along great. I am moving into part of his territory, about 1.5 miles. If they hadn't changed the darn thing 3 years ago, I'd still be able to run. But I'm not going to run against you either, Jeff. So don't worry about that either. Besides, hey, you stopped me, so I ain't.
A little bit moving forward here, process. Commissioner Riley's resignation is going to be effective tomorrow. We are going to be taking applications for commissioners up till the close of business on Wednesday, October 28th. We are going to have a special meeting on October 29th at 6 p.m. That'll be here. And essentially what we'll do, we'll bring all the candidates in, and we're going to have their resumes. Very similar, we just went through this with when Steve Samasco resigned, and we went through the appointee process with Greg. So we're going to get the resumes. We're going to shorten the list down to 3 is the number that I'm going to look for, depending on how many people apply, so on and so forth. So then what we will do is we will invite those 3 individuals back for interviews on November 5th. We'll do that at 5 p.m. before our board meeting, and hopefully we'll be able to you know, find a candidate then and appoint them. If not, if for some reason things go sideways, we still have sufficient time to figure it out. So we have 30 days.
Right.
Yeah. Jay, you want to talk? You want to talk a little bit about?
The statute's pretty clear. It's 30 days from the date of the effective resignation. That you make an appointment by a majority vote of the Board of Commissioners.
Just consideration, nobody's accepted his resignation yet, not that I believe we have to, but it's for tomorrow, the 15th, correct?
16th, yeah.
We do have a meeting on the 19th. That's what I question at 30 days. If this resignation would have been the 20th, we would have been able to have it on our full board meeting if needed, rather than have a special meeting.
Yeah, it's still good. I think 2 weeks. We did the special meeting thing last time with Greg and it.
Consideration.
Yeah, that seemed to work out pretty well.
Resumes and letters of intent are going to be
Yeah.
received at the clerk's office, so.
We did meet with the Times Herald and the radio station here earlier at 5 o'clock to talk to them, to lay out all the information, and they're going to be hopefully our mechanism to get that word out for us. So we did get that done. So because Jackie's not here today, but she has all the information.
There also will be a legal posting in the Times Herald notifying of the vacancy and laying out the process by which people can become an applicant, file their application and resume, if you will.
Jake, you need a motion to
No,
accept?
not necessarily.
Okay.
You guys can if you feel comfortable accepting it. That's up to you, but no, not necessarily.
Good with that. Okay, that's it. Receive and file.
Motion to receive and file packets.
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Item 15.
Support.
All in favor? Aye. Adjourned.
We hope you enjoyed this week's St. Clair County Board of Commissioners meeting. Your St. Clair County Commissioners broadcast these meetings on Comcast Local Access Channel 12 every Wednesday night at 9 p.m. If you have any questions on any part of this program, please feel free to contact your St. Clair County Board of Commissioners or staff. You can find their contact information, the meeting agenda, and videos of the meetings at www.stclaircounty.org.